All right, we're looking at shoulder stabilization, rhythmic exercises.
And another way you can get this rhythmic stabilization going is surrounding the scapula or the shoulder blade. So Jessica is going to demonstrate this on a Swiss ball or stability ball, but you can also do this on the floor with your knees bent. So she's in a position on the ball with her head at the north pole of the ball, so she's very supported in her neck and head, and she has a nice tabletop position. And then she's going to do, with a 4-pound weight, little circles.
Yeah. I have a
surrounding the
chrome
shoulder
extension
and shoulder girdle.
where I hit the letter
So she'll do 30
G,
seconds one direction,
and
then 30 seconds the other.
1.8 speed.
And this is in a neutral shoulder position.
Dude, that's so smart.
And now she's going to do it in a
I can't
protracted
watch
position, or
anything.
reaching up so the shoulder blade comes off of the ball,
And hey,
the elbow
pro
stays locked,
tip,
and she does the little
on
circles.
YouTube, if you do
Clockwise,
shift, if you're on a
30 seconds,
computer,
counterclockwise,
and you do
30 seconds.
shift comma and shift period, it
And another
adjusts
way
the
you can get this
speed.
rhythmic stabilization going is to do it
See
as
that?
if you're trying to draw the alphabet. You can
Shift
do
comma,
cursive or
shift
smooth,
period.
and that works every direction. So you can just go through the whole alphabet. That's it. Good. And again, you can do this either in a neutral position, or the harder version is with a protracted or scapula or shoulder blade away from your spine, reaching up toward the ceiling.
Yeah, we do these exercises big time in yoga bar class. I actually highly recommend yoga bar is for dancers. Like obviously bar is like ballet, and I feel like ballet that's a little secret. I'm not gonna say it, but one of our mutual teachers has a ballet background that goes unspoken, and I think that ballet they've really figured out like a lot of the things about how the body works, because it's completely based on isolation and aesthetic in a very different way than ours, but I think that like all paths lead to Rome in that way.
I mean, also, just for me, a lot of this stuff started with things like just basic knowledge, but exploring my own movement and just being honest and kind of respecting the body, like learning to just, you don't even have to have like real expert level knowledge of the body or what stuff is called, but like just start exploring stuff, feel if there's pain, get like lay on the floor and like roll around and see where the feedback is at. Oh, that spot is tight. Or hop on a ball and roll around, it's just exploring movement. And a lot of that I think got spurred by Ido Portal, and it wasn't because he was always breaking down boundaries as far as like whether it was powerlifting or like traditional approaches. He's like, I remember I was just like walking on the handrails in the park, like that was something I never did, but like it showed something new. I got a slack line, I like played on jungle gyms a lot, and a lot of it's just moving slow, like don't be explosive.
How would you recommend that people, or like even forget that, like how do you deal with the sort of like gnawing self-doubt of like, yo dude, a real man is bench pressing right now, I'm just like rolling around, like is this even getting me anywhere? Like,
well, I did that for a long time, like I did the kind of
tough it out.
Yeah, just like tearing, just hypertrophy training, like so you're just completely beat up. I mean, you're maxing out, you're doing tons of volume, and to me it was like, and I would talk to Tableau about this all the time, and I was like, yo, I'm sore today, sorry man, I can't like really like go full out, and he would always just kind of like let me do my thing, but at the same time he knew like it wasn't kind of attuned for dance,
Right.
So then a lot of it was like, wait, what am I trying to do here?
Right.
Am I trying to get an aesthetic so I can supposedly be strong and intimidate people, or like get girls? Like that, I mean, that was probably the main thing, was like I want to feel confident around women, you know?
Sure.
And so that wasn't, when you realize that's not even a part of the picture, really.
Sure.
I mean, women want to feel secure, but like a lot of the times that doesn't come from somebody that's like super swole and super buff, and at the end of the day, like if you're just feeding your insecurity by lifting weights, because it's so superficial in the gym. I mean, you're literally like curling in the mirror, like like I see guys and they're just like looking at their biceps, like, and I'm like, what the hell is this all about? And then I see girls coming in and they're in the squat rack and they're not even like focused, they're like just looking at their ass. Like, it's, to me, it's just we should be training, like our aesthetic should support our lifestyle. That's, to me, was the biggest equation, was like, okay, if what do you like to do, and then figure out what aesthetic that produces, because if you don't like working out, then why try and maintain an aesthetic that you don't even like doing day in and day out? To feed that machine, like, you have to consume so much food, so many supplements, who knows what's in, and then you're devoting all this time to stuff that doesn't even translate into real life stuff. So it's like finding out what you like to do, and for me that was exploring movement. And I do it to the music. Like, I work out to the music, you know. So it's not
I'm glad you just said that.
yeah. So like it's not like it's not a separate thing. I'm not compartmentalizing anymore, like, oh, I'm gonna go weightlift and then I gotta go dance. This is just all an extension of life now. It's just movement. Yeah. It's a more complete picture, and then when you're done, you feel like, especially with this mobility stuff, it's super hard, but then I feel invigorated after.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's go practice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not like, yo, I gotta recover now.
Yeah.
Do workouts that stimulate you, not destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like longevity, so the new thing. Sustainability, longevity,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
all of that. That actually is funny. Right before you got here, I did this
You got a bunch
video.
of questions, Preston.
Yeah, we'll switch. We'll finish this and go elsewhere. But I did just finish right when you got here. I just finished this video like about my goals for 2019, and it's like my big thing is like my goal is to do my best to turn my life into a loop. You know, like this, exactly what you're saying. Create like this ultra holistic lifestyle with travel and movement and yoga and diet and creative output.
That's the truth, yeah.
And all of this stuff where it amasses. And as you said, as you messaged me, right, even just stuff like, what I see is you just get these little wins every so often, right? Like this contest went, you know, I put out so much shit that just doesn't go. I'm like, oh, this is gonna go, you know, and it's like, it doesn't go, didn't go. But like the contest went, and you get those, and if you're on a path where you're not like needing that, where the journey is the point, that there is actually that's kind of interesting. You'd be interested, like, one of the things about a loop is a loop has no destination, right? So it's like almost like the ultimate form of the journey is the destination. It's like, how do you create the dopest journey? And then every good thing that happens to you just makes the journey a little doper. And each year the journey just gets a little doper.
Yeah.
And you're in this upward spiral that, like,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's something I kind of, I mean, this year's been hard for me in a lot of ways, but kind of like reevaluating, you know, especially the dance thing, you know. That's the hardest thing for me, is because, like, okay, I found something I love to do, and I would love that to be the foundation, and which it is. It's the foundation of my life in a lot of ways. It's like I train before and after work, and I go into community, and I, you know, cipher with people, practice, and then I battle occasionally, but like I wish it could provide sustenance, you know, and be sustainable. But at the end of the day, like when it comes to freestyle, like popping, there's not even at the top, it's not like.
Well, that's a big part of my, increasingly, you know, I feel like there's, like, I get kind of, from the high level people, I feel like there's a sort of split with me, where I get like half the people that are like, damn dude, it's really dope what you're doing, and then half the people it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And part of my dharma feels like I want to encourage everybody that, like, you don't have to care what other people think, and you can figure out your own way, and you can fuck up, and you can try this, and you can try that, because the fucking end of the rainbow of the mainstream version of, like, what we're doing doesn't lead anywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like, all we have at some level is experimentation, you know? Like, who knows? Maybe this video gets more popular than we realize, and like all of a sudden you're getting like 3 privates in, oh shit, and like people, you know, and it starts branching off, and it's like, more people start realizing like, oh, I need the stuff that Dsoul is in. Like I just feel like there's no telling, and like this era is the era of experimenting, and the people that are gonna win are the ones that are willing to try new stuff, because the new stuff is where the lanes are wide open, you know, and you can it's like. Now, I think it's so dope from my perspective, because now if somebody starts to do anything like what I'm doing with this kind of content, in their mind, they're like, damn, dude, am I just like fucking biting Otis? And so like, it's like, because I just took it, right? And I didn't have to grapple with that. That wasn't a thing. I had to grapple with like, who am I to do this? That was the thing I had to grapple with. But now somebody has to grapple with like biting kind of stuff. Yeah. And I feel like in business, that's what they call first mover advantage, you know? When you're first, a lot of the second guessing goes out the window, because it's like you just don't know. You're just like, okay, good. So, you know, that's really, you know, a huge part of my intention is to, even like in this trip going to Vietnam next month, my goal is to link up with all these people that like, and even, you know, the fact that you're here now, they'll see it and they'll be reminded like, oh shit, dude, they're like, it's a whole thing over there. And is to, my real intention with that trip is to set up the circumstances so that in 2020, some combination of you and Jordan and Slim and Chad and Jet, like, and whoever else that comes to mind, like, go over there and start a kind of Edo Portal style camp of, you know, and who knows how big that could grow. Yeah. Because Asia has a ton of people, dude, and Vietnam is a cheap place. Yeah. You know? So it's one of these, like, I think if we just keep putting stuff out, I think the first step is just, like, the demonstration of expertise, like, that you actually know what you're talking about. And then it's just patience and effort and...
Yeah. I also try and search for value in the sense of, like, in a non-competitive way, too, as far as, like, trying to have that end goal, right? As far as, like, when people come to take privates or come to a workshop, for me, it's like, not everybody here is going to be a world-class dancer, you know? Not everybody's going to win battles after learning.
Somebody in the chat already wants a private. Just so you know.
Sweet. But, like, for me, it's like when I teach people, like, I want the things that I share, like, affect them the way it affected me, and how the way of conceptualizing, using your imagination, your creativity, exploring your movement, and how that, like, it's just like even going to a sauna, like after you come out of a sauna, how different you feel, like after a hard yoga class or Bikram, like you come out and the way you interact with the world is completely different. And I think for me, when I like really started to like go around the world and learn from all these amazing dancers, I tried to ask as many questions as possible, and that's what people are paying for when they when they come to me. Is like, I'm bringing the world that I traveled and like explored and learned from, and bringing it to this right here. Right. And hopefully this can help you in life in general. Totally. Not just dance, you know. Totally. And I think dance can have such a profound effect on anybody. Not just like, you know, like people that just have regular 9-to-5s. Like it can really change their life, you know.
Totally. There's a great, on that note, I love it. We always, I'm just realizing like the pattern that we go in, like he said, it makes me think of something that makes him think of something that makes me, it's like an infinite loop of oh yeah, and by the way, there's one of my favorite like business quotes of all time. It's about specific knowledge. It's like a made up story of like a dude, like some factory has like a problem with a pipe, and they call this dude, and he comes in and he like taps this and taps that and taps that, and then he goes, oh okay, and he turns the screw and he hands him a bill for like $500. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like you need an invoice. Like this is not like you just tapped a few things, and he's like, oh okay, turning the screw $5, knowing which screw to turn $495. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like very fortunate to have met the people that I've met, you know, and just having to come up in LA. I was actually thinking about that too on the way over. It's like, how do you value yourself? Like, what do you charge and that sort of stuff? And like when, like, you know, I'm really interested in going to India, but I know that their economy and their currency is not worth as much. And this happens in Vietnam. It happens in a lot of third worlds, like, or developing nations. But so we come there and we're like, okay, hey, my workshop is, you know, X amount. My judging is X amount. And I'm like, well, I'm judging. I'm actually, you know, like I'm sitting in a chair, you know, and then I get up and I do a showcase.
Right.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
And like for me, it's like, okay, that's not really, if I think about physical labor, like
Sure.
I love to do that shit.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, like I live in LA.
Oh well, yeah, no. Check this out. You'll love this one. We have so much overlap. When I went to Thailand, he went to Vietnam, and I went through a whole thing with my relationship, and he went through a whole thing with his relationship and all this stuff. But anyway, I had like an 8-hour layover in Shanghai that time, and I started talking to this couple, and the dude turned out to be a DJ. And he was talking about like that he was about to go do like a whole like tour all over Southeast Asia as a DJ. I was like, oh, tight, dude, da da da. And we started talking about business and stuff like that. And he was like, bro, I get paid because of this, because I have this layover in Shanghai, and it was like freezing, you know, like China's cold. It was like what, January, something like that. So it's like the payment is not for the sitting there. It's for the like toll on your whole system to be on the plane, deal with the layovers, deal with the jet lag, deal with like unfamiliar surroundings and food and the potential for food sickness because of foreign bacterias and stuff, you know.
I mean, we need more like economists in this dance world, because like when I think about charging too, it's like it hurts me a little bit but then at the same time I'm like, this is a craft that I've devoted my life to, and at the same time I live in LA where rent is super high.
Totally.
It like I did the math, like just to do bare minimums in LA, like most people, like you got to make $2,000 a month.
That's what I was gonna say. 2,000 a month is a minimum.
Is kind of a minimum, and that's like, yo, that's, if you think about how much work you have to do as a dancer to get that, if it's not industry related.
Yeah.
And it's also like, okay, if I charge $500 to judge an event, then in India that's a ton of money, you know, that's really cutting into them. And it's like, but for me it's like, well,
I'm doing you a favor at some level.
If I do 4 events, if I judge 4 events in a month, that's like, I've never done that before,
right.
You know.
You're the most famous dancer in the world.
Yeah. So then it's like, so I just made my bare minimums, you know.
Sure.
And that's,
well, see, this is, I mean, again, this is part of my, I'm kind of like with the backlash that I've experienced with my contest. I was messaging him and saying like, I'm starting to like sink into this role as a provoker, because I feel like at some level I am one of the economists of the thing. I'm like, bro, this shit doesn't add up. I don't care what any of you guys think, because it's like, what, you know, I make like $30 a month off this YouTube channel. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't, it's not, the thing here is brand building, and the like, as somebody just said in the chat, Vietnam dance, mobility, and meditation retreat. You know, now that is a thing that can start to be for real, and the audience. I think the main thing we have to do is start thinking about, and that's why I personally have gravitated towards stuff like social media, because the way I look at this is just like an outreach so that the world knows who I am. And these people, they don't pay me for shit, you know. I'm like, hey bro, can you guys throw down like $5 to get like Jordan or Dsoul over? And they're like, I don't know, bro, I'm kind of tapped out right now, you know. And it's like, damn, dude, really? I put out video fucking every day and you only got $5? And they're like, nope. And it's like, okay, well, that's reality, you know.
it's real.
And I can sit here being butthurt about it, or I can use my creativity to figure out like, oh, okay, well then you guys aren't gonna be the paying customers, and like that's okay. Like you still give me this relationship with the Chad and
we still love you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It provides meaning, it provides fuel, it keeps it going, but it's like it's up to me to be creative in figuring out how to sustain myself. And I feel like one of the things that this scene has attempted to do to people is say, this is the box and you can't go outside of it. And if you go outside of it, fuck you.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, because
green juice.
I just got I'm signing with an agency for the first time, so which was kind of heavy on my heart for a long time, because we kind of want to stay true to the culture, and any experience that I've had in the industry is kind of like, they don't really respect us, and they don't, so it was always kind of like, nah, I'm good on that. And then part of me now is just like, having had the job that I've had, is also like, there's a such thing as just work, and it's, for me, I was like not willing to compromise my spiritual space of movement and dance for money, and so I would really just like, I cut it all off. So now it's kind of like, choreography is still not my thing, but with this agency, this is something that other people can get into as well. It's like, there's other avenues, whether it's acting or modeling, or just like background stuff, or just like also telling your agency, like, this is who I am, and finding the agent that's just like, yeah, I'll work with you, like I'll try and line those jobs up for you, and then you get to choose. For me, the biggest thing was like, okay, I have a steady income for the time being, and this is giving me the power to choose my jobs, where I don't have, like, I'm not in a place as a dancer where I was before, where I was like, well, I gotta get the job, I gotta pay the bills, so like, whatever, let's work the deal, and that's where you get in trouble when like organizers can really like be like, oh, we got this person, they're willing to do it for 300,
sure.
And then they're like, well, I guess I'll do it for 250, or
sure.
like,
sure.
And you don't want to be in that spot, So now it's kind of like, it's almost like, I thought about it as compartmentalization of artistry, but in actuality, it's like making it whole, in the sense of like, this is me, and the way that I approach things doesn't change, I am beyond dance. I am me as a person. And so I was so like intimate in my relationship with dance and the culture and movement, that I wasn't able to go like, hey, yeah, you know what, oh, you want me to freestyle for 10 seconds, and now I'm like, okay, let's do it, yeah, whatever. I can freestyle in the park, which is my favorite thing to do, but that's not going to get me paid.
Now shut up. And I disagree, because that's what I'm doing right here, right now, fundamentally, is an attempt to show all these people, you got this thing, you go live, and you start to get paid by freestyling in the park. And my vision for his life is that he literally gets paid to freestyle in the park, and that Slim literally gets paid to just get down at the parking lot. And that, to me, what's going to separate the men from the boys, so to speak, in the next 3 years is those of us who make it and those of us that don't. And I know I'm making it. I made it already. And I feel like the people that are around me, like, I believe in so much that I'm just going to keep like, oh, look at that. Look, we just got sent $10.
Hey.
See?
What's up,
thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. See, so this is the future. This is your future, in my opinion. Because to me, I don't know what it is. Like, maybe we should cut off this video and start another video that's like a psychoanalysis session with Daniel. And because I don't know what the deal is with your low self-esteem, but like, you're one of the most knowledgeable people about movement and art and dance and spirituality and psychology and human growth and like transpersonal stuff and like, you know, all this stuff. And it's like you don't see, you just look at these like fitness bros and you're like, yeah, dude, but they know the technical terms. Like, bro, that world is over. Like, colleges are fucking going out of business. The movie studios are going out of business. Like, the future belongs to the individuals that people resonate with on a human level, that people can tell are sharing their passions and their gifts. And because the thing is that it's obvious to everyone in about 5 minutes, all of the traveling you've done, your skills speak for themselves, the way you speaks for yourself, all of this. And then the thing is, it's so funny actually, right? You guys can tell him, you can say in the chat, dude, he's telling the truth. Right before he got here, I made this whole video about how the main thing I learned in 2018 was around discipline, and how when you start putting stuff out, like putting yourself out into the world, like in a very natural way, not like in an agency way, but in a like, this is who I actually am way, it can take 8 months before any response starts coming back. Because what you're basically doing is you're just like tapping people on the head, and it takes them a long time to start to go like, oh yeah, that dude does that, right? It took like at least 9 months for the scene to be like, oh yeah, dude, Otis does those commentary videos. Yeah, like Otis is like this commentary guy, right? And now the whole fucking world of this scene is like, yeah, the video guy, right? The pink glasses video guy, right? That dude. And it's that consistency. And the thing with you, you're the most similar to me. You're literally the most similar to me in the sense that you can just go forever. You have so many things to say about so many things that if you were able to get yourself out of your comfort zone into putting things out, within 9 months, everyone would be like, oh yeah, Dsoul, he's the dude in the scene that's like way by far the most knowledgeable about like health and fitness and mobility and da-da-da-da-da. And then within 2 years, all kinds of opportunities would start, and some would be in the scene, some would be out of the scene, some would be at fitness conferences, some would be at meditation retreats, you know, it'd just be on and on and on like that. But and to me, again, the thing that separates the men from the boys is the people that are willing to actually have the courage and the discipline to put themselves out without anyone's validation, without anyone saying like, yes, it's okay that you do this. Is this Stacks?
Yeah, we got to get back to
is this
Preston.
Stack? Yeah, okay, yeah, we got to get back to all kinds of stuff. This video is done. This video is going to be, the title of this video is like random ass shit with Dsoul. Peace.